There is a silent war that every man must fight, a war not against others, but against himself, against his weaknesses, his emotions, and his fears. This battle determines whether he will rise with strength or collapse under the weight of his own mind. Women do not merely see a man, they sense him. They perceive what is hidden, the tremor of insecurity, the hunger for validation, the lack of control. And when they detect weakness, they turn away, not out of cruelty, but out of instinct. For strength calls to strength and weakness repels. Most men misunderstand strength. They think it is about dominance, wealth, or physical power. But true strength is deeper. It is the ability to master yourself, to stand firm in chaos, and to remain unmoved by the storms of life. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Today, we uncover 7 ways women detect weakness in a man, often before he even realizes it himself. And more importantly, we reveal the path to becoming unshakable. Number 1, you are a slave to validation. The weak man seeks approval like a beggar seeks alms, always waiting, always hoping for someone else to affirm his worth. He bends his will to gain favor, altering his words, his actions, and even his principles to be liked. Women see this immediately. They feel the desperation woven into his words, the fear behind his laughter, the hollow need behind his compliments. And nothing is more unattractive than a man who has no foundation of his own. Epictetus warned, "If you wish to be free, do not wish for anything that depends on others." A Stoic man does not ask, "What do they think of me?" He asks, "What do I think of myself?" He walks his path, indifferent to the applause or the jeers of the crowd, and in doing so, he commands quiet respect. Number 2, you let your emotions rule you. A man ruled by his emotions is a man ruled by the world. Anger, jealousy, fear, these are chains forged in the fire of a weak mind. When a man lashes out in frustration, when he allows jealousy to consume him, when he crumbles under stress, he reveals that he is not the master of himself. Women sense this instability and instinctively turn away. A man who cannot control himself cannot be trusted to lead, to protect, or to endure hardship. The Stoics understood that control over the self is the highest form of strength. Seneca wrote, "Most powerful is he who has himself in his own power. The strong man feels emotions, but he does not obey them. He remains the eye of the storm, calm, steady, unshaken. And in this stillness, he radiates power." Number 3, you fear solitude. A weak man cannot be alone. He fills every empty space with distractions, mindless entertainment, social validation, fleeting relationships, because he is afraid of silence. He fears facing himself. Women sense this dependence. They see how he clings, how he panics when left alone, how he constantly seeks validation from others instead of finding strength within himself. A man who fears solitude is a man who has no depth. Marcus Aurelius commanded himself, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." A Stoic man embraces solitude. He does not run from it. He meets himself in silence, he sharpens his mind in reflection, and he stands alone when necessary. And because he is content in his own company, others are drawn to him. Number 4, you are easily swayed. The weak man is like a leaf in the wind, moving in whichever direction the world pushes him. He changes his opinions to fit in. He bends his principles to avoid conflict. He follows the crowd because he fears standing alone. Women notice this immediately. They see a man who lacks conviction, who is afraid of opposition, who seeks acceptance over truth. And in this, they see a man who is not strong enough to lead his own life. Epictetus warned, "If you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." A Stoic man is unmoved by ridicule. He stands by his values even when they make him unpopular. He is a rock in the river, steady, unyielding, untamed, and in this strength he earns admiration. Number 5, you lack purpose. A man without purpose drifts through life, waiting for something to happen instead of making it happen. He lacks fire, he lacks direction, and his days are spent in meaningless distractions. Women sense this aimlessness. They see it in the way he hesitates, the way he wastes time, the way he drowns himself in trivial pleasures instead of meaningful pursuits. A man with no purpose is a man with no weight in the world. Marcus Aurelius commanded himself, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one." A Stoic man moves with purpose. He does not wait for motivation, nor does he need permission. His mission is his fire. His work is his prayer, and every step he takes is deliberate. And in this, he commands deep respect. Number 6, you are ruled by desire. The weak man is a slave to pleasure, food, sex, entertainment, distractions. He chases what feels good instead of what is right. Women notice when a man is ruled by his urges. They see how he indulges without discipline, how he loses himself in fleeting pleasures, how he lacks control over his own desires. And in this, they see a man who is not the master of himself. Seneca warned, "No man is free who is not master of himself." A Stoic man does not reject pleasure, but he does not bow to it either. He exercises control, he chooses discipline over indulgence, and he remains unmoved by temptation. And in this restraint, he radiates strength. Number 7, you blame others for your life. The weakest man is the man who plays the victim. He blames his past, his circumstances, his bad luck. He speaks of what was taken from him rather than what he has built. Women see this mindset as defeat. They see a man who has surrendered, who has no grip over his own fate, who waits for someone else to fix his life. A man who refuses to take responsibility is a man who has no power. Epictetus made it clear, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." A Stoic man takes full responsibility for his life. If he fails, he learns. If he is wronged, he adapts. If he is tested, he grows. He does not seek pity, nor does he need it. He shapes his own destiny with his hands and his will. Strength is not something you show. It is something you are. Women sense when a man has control over himself, when he is calm in crisis, when he does not chase approval, when he stands alone if needed. They sense when he is the master of his own soul. Weakness repels, but strength attracts, not because it is loud, but because it is undeniable. So ask yourself now, who do you choose to be?